Hello and welcome to this week's episode. They've been doing it all day, sir. Some old geezer once said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Let's get stuck in.
Love the philosophical intro, mate.
We might as well go straight into it.
Okay, dive in.
What is Anthony Seibold doing?
I don't know.
What is he doing? At 4 o'clock today, I get an email from Manly Warringah Sea Eagles saying team lists have been revealed. I'm there excited, thinking, do you know what? Here we go. Going to see young blood bedded in. We're going to have a go. And the first opening sentence is, there's been no change to the lineup from round 3 or round whatever bloody it was, round 2. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even be bothered to read on. Like, it's that pathetic. Corey Waddell is now named on the actual bench. Like Seibold does it in a weird way where I think he names the top 4 of the first 4 on the bench of the 4 that are going to play to be the rotation. Layafi's in it 19 and I can't even remember who's 20. Oh, sorry, 18 and 19. But it's ridiculous. No change. We are going to get walloped.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But saying that, the old Roosters they've shipped some points at the start of this season. I was listening to something or read something where no one's really having a go at Trent Robinson at the moment.
Or you say that. I did. Funnily enough, just before I left to come over here, I saw that Politis or someone has come out and said he's safe in his job because there's a few murmurings of he might leave his contract early or he might be gone. But I mean, look, they've had 40 put on them twice in 3 games. And when they played the Rabbitohs, it was a tense affair. So look, I don't know. Anything can happen this Thursday, but I'm not inspired.
No, I'm not inspired either.
Feel like I'm rocking up to Brookie with the inevitable going to happen, and it feels to me like if Manly don't get this win, then the writing's on the wall. Seibold can absolutely do one, and I think the Hill will just go absolutely mental.
Yeah, I think it could turn. I think it could turn inside the ground. So we'll see. Yeah,
but my week anyway.
Yeah, how was your week been?
Back to my week. Yeah, not too bad actually. Went to what was that Navy thing that was on over the weekend in the harbour where all those Navy ships came in and they did like a review of the fleet, I think it was called. So we went across to Rose Bay, had lunch at Rose Bay Hotel, and then just played in the park there and watched the fighter jets fly over. We went across on the Manly because a bit of a nightmare. Obviously, you have to go Manly to Circular Quay to Rose Bay. So we were on one of the big ferries, the old Queen's Cliff. We went past a couple of the ships, and the old sailors were on the edge waving. The boys absolutely loved it. So yeah, it was a good afternoon. It started pouring down with rain at one point, but we managed to stay dry as well. So that was Saturday. That was it. We didn't just watch footy over the weekend. But what about yourself?
Pretty similar, to be honest. Nothing much. Bought a new plant, which is pride of place in the in our living room.
Alive and well. A few days old.
Alive and well. Adds a bit of ambience to the living room now. But no, that's about it, to be honest. Nothing crazy.
Chilled weekend.
Yeah, pretty chilled. Popped out for a few drinks on Saturday. Nothing crazy, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah. Interestingly, I saw earlier the England Ashes review came out, internal inquiry. So the public aren't even gonna can't even read into anything. But the 3 themes that they came around with are basically boys love getting on the booze, preparation wasn't good enough, and the pathway to county cricket's not good enough.
Yeah.
Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, well, great review, boys.
Yeah, like what's wrong with the boys going to have them a beer?
Yeah,
like exactly. I know they're losing, but like let them have some time down. Maybe.
The thing is, this was all it was all planned with them probably being up or the series being a lot tighter with this trip to Noosa, and it only looks worse because of the situation that we were in.
Yeah. We should go to the T20 game at the SCG. I think November the 29th or something like that. Going to that, I think it's a Sunday, so hopefully it won't be too much of a late afternoon one. But I mean, the worst thing I think happened on the Ashes tour was when, like, from a social standpoint, is when Zach Crawley decided to spill his cash all over the streets of Noosa, and there were public picking up like dollar bills all over the place. Other than that, like the Ben Duckett thing can do one.
Yeah.
Big old situation at the Broncos unfolding this week, though.
I know it's all gone Pete Tong there. It's properly imploding.
I know, like from a club legend having his name removed from a conference room. Like I'm not quite sure whether it's like I don't know much about the structure of their conference rooms, but was it a main conference room?
I don't know.
Don't know. And that's been scrubbed as well for an NRLW representative, which positive move. And Gordon Tallis has come out and said like fair play, and it doesn't take away from his accolades that he achieved
there,
with the club. But it turns out that I read today that assistant coach Ben Teo
he's gone.
He's gone. He's walked out. He had an argument with Madge on Friday, and some of the not related probably, but some of the people refused to use that conference room. So a couple of things boiling up.
It's all like I say, it's all imploding a little bit there at the moment, and you'd think after a decent win over the Storm, it would have all settled down a little bit, but there's clearly animosity amongst the playing and coaching staff, and it's just is everyone disagreeing with Madge, and it's come to this point now where everyone's starting to bail. A player's going to start sort of down in tools soon as well.
I listened to, I can't remember whose podcast it was, but Ben Teo was on a podcast. It might have been the Buy Round, not too sure. But he came across as like a player, as a coach that really cared for players and really respected their opinion. And it feels like if he's siding on the side of the players, and this has led to this argument, which apparently obviously happened before the Storm game. They go out, win that game. And then on the Monday, they tried to patch it up. So yesterday, they tried to patch it up. And then he's just quit. He's gone, nah, can't do this. See you later. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how things unfold from here. Especially if losing Payne House as well. Yeah,
he's that's more of a end of a season thing, isn't it? So it's going to be it just doesn't seem right there, especially after the back of winning a premiership. You don't expect the team to come out like this. Everyone's sort of pointing fingers and the hierarchy starting to tumble. So unless Madge has come out and what sort of Gordon Tallis was saying about Adam Reynolds, is he tough enough to play? And that's where it could have all stemmed from. Was Madge actually in the change room going, right, what's the issues here? Should you be playing? Are you really injured? So
well, they beat the Storm at home.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an interesting one, but a couple of other podcasters done this about just reflecting on this rule change that's happened this year. The new 6 again rule, obviously, they've changed it from a 6 again being outside the 40 instead of a penalty inside the 40 to now outside the 20.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on so far the impact of it's had on the game and?
There's no implication for teams causing issues at the ruck.
Yeah.
Or being offside, unless it's continuous and then a penalty's blown.
But even then, I don't think the referees are
really pinging it. So, but because as soon as they get out their 20, you can just go, okay, then you've now got to march the field in 6 tackle, and we'll just keep slowing you down.
Whereas before, and this is my grievance with it, you get penalised because they boot the ball 30, 40 metres downfield and they're within attacking range straight away. Whereas now, and some people keep alluding to it, like the Panthers are experts at doing this. Like the majority of their ruck infringement penalties come from either first or second tackle, and in the opposition's half. So they slow the players down, slow the player or the ball down and go, right, let's reset on our line. And we're just going to stop you in the next
I think it was Willie Mason was saying it. It was saying how the dark arts around the ruck have really improved it for them, and how if they're out of defensive structure, they'll just lay on a bloke for another couple of seconds and let it get it reset again, and then we'll still stop you.
It feels like they do it inside their own 20 as well. Like they've got massive kahunas, and I think at the moment they are a level above everyone.
How many points is it? 10 points?
10 points in three games. And like we're talking about one of the best defensive like structures. Like people talk about the Bulldogs, but the Panthers at the moment are just phenomenal.
It's ridiculous.
They have the confidence to go,
you're not getting past us.
But even still, they go, all right, we'll stay on top of you for a couple of seconds so we can get reset, and then you're not going to get anywhere near our goal line from doing that. They've been pretty good. But one of the things I heard Craig Bellamy say on the new Channel 9 program, I've forgotten the name, but is that it'll be interesting to see what athletes come out of this in like 10 years time as to like the longevity of their career and what type of athlete is as well. Because you look at the likes of Nelson Asafa-Solomona, like he never would have survived. He might have, like this is me jumping the gun here, but a man that's like over 2 meters tall, 100 and however many kilos, trying to keep up that pace.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see bigger forwards in the game anymore. I think it's going to have to be a hybrid, like 100 kilo athlete that's just fit as anything, and just. I think we're going to see the loss of some big boys.
Yeah, and is it sort of pushing towards the rugby sevens sort of style of play where it is just constant attacking intent? But one of the things that you'll have to look at is if they are going to keep this penalty outside of the 20, do they then add an extra tackle in? So it's a case of that they have the attacking team have the ability to get further on the field and put themselves into better position. Because if you're just getting absolutely battered and you're just being kept inside your 20 and 30, but there are ruck infringements happening and you're still not being able to move the ball, it's not going to benefit a team. It's not benefiting teams at all.
I believe there's a bit of an inconsistency with referees at the moment as well. 100%. Some referees are pinging it a lot quicker and a lot more frequently than other referees.
It's too much open for interpretation as well.
And that's the problem, right? What they need to start doing is deciding on something like, I don't know how you codify it and I don't know how you make it black and white, but if you commit X amount of ruck infringements in a phase, certain period of play, a set, whatever, someone's got to go to the bin, because that will stamp it out and it will improve people clearing the ruck, like getting back in, getting square. And I just think having someone sent off putting the bin.
Surely someone should just go. The referees should have the nous to go. If it's a deliberate foul, it should be in the bin, because you don't have bookings or anything in the game. But if it's
borderline sometimes.
But in football, and in rugby as well, if there's a deliberate foul committed, there's a binning. It's a yellow card.
The knock on, the obvious trying to intercept and knock on is one of the.
Put them in the bin straight away. You've got someone lying down for 7 seconds, knowing exactly what they're doing, waiting for this ball. Straight up, get them up, bomb gone. You're 10 in the bin.
What game was it over the weekend? Was it Eels Dragons, where someone didn't realise that the penalty had been called or something? Yeah, it was the Eels Dragons, and he just grabbed him as he ran away, and he got binned. Like it's nearly as deliberate as that. Like laying on someone is pretty deliberate. But one thing that you mentioned there about it feels like it's now attacking like score
basketball,
exactly. And I don't think the game's designed to be like that.
No, it's not. 100% not. It's not an end-to-end. It's not an end-to-end game.
And it needs to be a game for the fans where they can get up and get behind solid defenses, like big hits, great like tackles. Whereas at the moment it just feels like it's creating tiredness to open up scoring opportunities. And I do think another point that was raised was momentum's a big thing to get back if you haven't got it. And we are seeing some one-sided scores in the first 2 rounds.
Yes.
Like 40 odds, 50 odds, like to low scoring scores. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I think it's going to be like anything. I think they're going to start the year hard on it.
And
they're going to get feedback from fans going, do you know what? This is not good for the game. And then come Origin time, probably some of the best Origins that we'll see, high paced, everyone hitting everyone. We're going to game 1, aren't we, as well? So hopefully that one will be good. And then it will reset. And because last year's product was so good, like the competitive nature of the games last year.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the Broncos did exactly what they did in the grand final on Friday. So has much changed? I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see how this plays out over the season.
Yeah, that's true.
If anyone gets pinged for Manly on Thursday night for being slow,
100%.
I'm pretty sure it will. But let's get into round 3, and we'll kick it off with Manly's opponents on Thursday night. The Roosters got absolutely turned over by the Panthers. And as we've mentioned already, like they do feel like a cut above the rest.
Some of the tries in this were ridiculous.
Brian Toto, like Owsey got the ball.
Little nudge forward.
Little nudge, picked it up. I think it's Tedesco in his face. It's literally just dropped it, nudged again, run around him and scored.
Incredible try of the season, I think, already.
If you had to compare that and like Mark Nawangani-Tawase from last year, where
I reckon that's better because it's 2 phases that he's had to get right.
Which one?
Toto's.
Yeah. And like everything's had to have gone perfect. Like the balls had to have bounced perfect. You could say that about Marky Mark as well. So
no, I say Toto's better because it's the 2 phases.
Yeah.
It's 5th tackle as well.
The other incredible thing, Papali'i's pass out wide, like as a big man to bullet it as fast as he did, to skip a man I think any half in the game would be frothing over that pass. And we're talking about a big man just whipping it out wide and scoring in the corner. But they just are on a... I worry. Like, we've got them round 9 at the Combank.
I will not be venturing out the Combank this game. I don't think I'll be venturing out there. And one of the players that you've got to say is absolutely reaping the awards of what's happening at the moment is good old Milky Jenkins. Like, he's scoring for fun at the moment, and he's just reaping the awards of being involved in an incredible attacking structure. He's got so much room out on the wing. But I'll give him his dues as well. He's being able to make some hard finishes when he's not got a lot of room. So he's starting to come alive a little bit.
If he stays fit, like, it might be worth a little flutter on top try scorer this season.
100%.
Could be a chance at it, but it seems, Roosters have had 40 stuck on them. They're going to be baying for blood.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to be us.
What a better place to go.
They just didn't look like they were going to do anything.
Nah, they started well. First 10
100%.
minutes, they started really well, and then Panthers just took over for the next 70.
I couldn't believe the shift in momentum in the game. They just...
what, with the old Fox AI momentum tracker?
But just how it quickly changed on a knife edge. And I think... was it this game or last week, Cleary's 42? I can't remember everything.
He might have done one this week as well.
The games just mould into one. I think it was last week, but the week before, sorry. And again, he's just dominating the games now. He's just controlling the games. And is it the year he actually turns up at Origin?
I was just about to say, can he do it on a mild Wednesday night at the MCG? That's the biggest question. But onto momentum swingers, Storm 14, Broncos 18. I thought Storm were going to absolutely stride away with this one at half time. And then Broncos score a minute after the break. And next thing you know, they're 18 points to 14 up. I think 15 minutes.
They just didn't... the Storm just didn't do anything in the second half.
No.
I was gobsmacked. They were just... I don't think the Broncos really changed much. I think this was more of a Storm loss than it was a Broncos win in the sense of I think Storm got complacent and just didn't do anything. Talking about teams switching off, they were ripping them up. Broncos looked like all over the place at one point in the first half, and to come out in the second half in that sort of style and get 18 points put on you, and you don't even look like scoring yourselves.
Nah. They didn't, and that was the worrying thing. Like, at home, they're usually slick,
flat trap
fast.
bodies.
Like, don't get me wrong, Farlongo does look like a problem. Like, Pappenhausen's gone, and they've just brought in another geezer that dances around all over the place, can break a line, and he's fast as anything. But even he couldn't get it going in the second half, which was interesting. But like, fair play to the Broncos, first win of the year without Adam Reynolds. Obviously, the pain point of what's been going on. I still think they'll be up there. Like, it's only a blip in the road for the Storm. Broncos would be interesting to see how they bounce back.
Yeah, 100%. No, I think the Storm have got the quality in there, and they're going to be in and around there. But it to be fair, like you say, it was similar to the grand final as well. Like where the Storm looked like they were going to walk away with it, and then they just switched off. Is that a thing with them? Is that do they take things for granted, and against the bigger teams they get bitten from it? Because if you look against the Dragons, it was only that last probably 10-15 minute period where they then ran away with it. Yeah. So is there something more mentally within that squad that's starting to rear its ugly head?
Need a bit of resilience towards the end of the game. Yeah, possibly. Be interesting to see how they bounce back from this. Surely Bellamy's got a shovel.
I'll give Ripman a new one and they'll be absolutely sound.
A result I didn't see coming though.
Nah.
Dolphins tearing apart the Sharks. I knew the Dolphins could potentially cause an upset. Didn't say it last week. Said that was pretty confident the Sharks would win at 100%. Home. Sharks were just outplayed. They were outskilled. They were outworked. They were out creativeness, if that's even a word. And Dolphins just blew them off the park.
And this is the thing, when you've got quite, I suppose, I don't really want to use the word creative because that's boring, but when you've got sort of very fast-paced weapons, the Sharks seem to crumble. Yeah, you saw it against the Panthers the week before. You saw it against this week when they're being stretched from a creativity point of view, from a set piece point of view. They really struggle to defensively stop it. And when there's that pressure on the Sharks, again, you go to Nico Hines. Where is that grabbing the team by the scruff of the neck and bringing them forward and going, all right, lads, we need to switch it on a little bit here. It just when the Sharks start getting beat, I'd love to know what the stats are like around when the Sharks start losing by a certain amount, how many games they actually come back against that they do, because I don't think they're a massive.
It's like they almost throw their toys out the pram. Like they try stuff and it doesn't work, and then they start like coming up against a brick wall and just don't know what to do, and they sort of sulk and then kind of down tools almost. But in this one, like spoke about Papali's pass, Katoa's pass, like I feel like I'm fairly all right at passing a ball, right? Like I feel like I can whip a ball pretty well off my right hand, off my left hand, like it's not as good. But to do what he did, like from pretty much like where the number, not even the numbers, where that mark is, whatever it is, like all the way to the sideline, looped it, pace fast, so quick to the winger. Like it might be up there with pass of the season already. It was especially left-handed.
Yeah.
Like I know they're professionals, right? Like we should expect it.
They do this every day, Benji.
They do it every day, but
especially him. He's probably there's a good majority of every training session where he's probably passing.
But still, it was an incredible pass. Like I think it will be pass of the season unless there's something else out there like that'll beat it. But Dolphins, I'm telling you, like they're looking all right.
A bit of a shaky game against the Titans, and which I think just ends up being a bit of a sends everyone's sort of radars all over the place, especially going into this week. But yeah, they're looking solid.
They are. They got an interesting one this week against the Broncos, so
that could go either way, to be honest.
Yeah, that'll be a good old one to show where they're at. I want to talk about the stadium of the next one for a little bit. We've been there. We went down to Canberra, and we didn't walk away with cuts on our hands because of how shoddy the stadium was. We were freezing though.
It was close to frostbite, I think.
I think my hands could have frozen to that pole in front of us.
It was not warm. It was not a warm day down in Canberra.
I heard once that the GIO Stadium, whatever it used to be called, was one of the most like advanced or modern stadiums in Australia. And now you got Cam Serraldo apparently sliding the door. I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah.
Like it seems to me that sliding a door, unless he slid it in, I don't know, not in celebration, because I don't know whether I think it happened at the end of the game. I'm not too sure, but as he walked away with a slice on his hand.
They had leaking in the changing rooms as well, didn't they?
Oh my word!
Like the thing was falling to bits.
The conditions were terrible. Like it was absolutely pissing down with rain. A few handling errors in the game as well, which you can expect, but I can't really remember much from the game. It was on Thursday. Feels like forever ago. Bulldogs walk away 14-10. Like I think it's the Raiders have done well. Like they were putting pressure on. Like fair play to the Bulldogs defense. I do remember they were under the cosh for a fair bit.
Yeah, they were, and then they went up the other end. And like to be fair, both teams defensively, periods during the game were under a lot of pressure and were able to hold. And I think the scoreline does reflect a very good defensive performance, because in that sort of weather you've got to play a lot of up the jumper rugby, and it's not a case you can't fling it out, you can't do a lot more extravagant passes, you've got to go for the safer options, but it's still not easy to defend against. And I think both teams were defensively sort of sound with all their pressure that they faced.
I did think the Raiders were going to I thought the Raiders would pinch it at the end, and they didn't. They just couldn't get it over the line. But fair play to the Bulldogs, a team though. The next game that we'll look at, the Rabbitohs Tigers, like fair play to the Rabbitohs, but the Tigers look in a bit of trouble now by losing. Although Dewey apparently is just a tight hamstring. But if your hamstring's tight in round 3,
that's not a good. He's a bit injury prone, though, isn't he?
He's had some few serious injuries, I believe.
He's missed a lot. He missed a lot last season as well. Well, missed a bits of last season as well.
But he had his leg like in compression tights, and then he must have got it strapped at half time or something, because when he did it, like you could see under his shorts that he had tape on his like top of his hamstring.
Okay.
And he goes down, and you're like, oh dear. And I can't remember whether it happened before or after, but Luai, MCL 4 weeks.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's the now their engine room, their creativity is under question. Dewey's been named this week. We'll see how true that is. But I suppose closest.
They got a tough one as well. Playing the Warriors away
with Luke Metcalf, who's just come back as well. So
has he been properly named?
Yeah,
or?
he's been named. But look.
Oh yes.
I've got to hand it to him. One boy that I
you sung his praises last year.
I love this boy. Like, I could see a magical little genius in him last season, and this year I think he's just improved so much more. Like he's a player that attacking wise he can create something out of nothing because he's just so nippy, but defensively. For a small bloke, he doesn't half throw himself about. He flies into things at 100 mile an hour. He's got no regard for his body.
When you see, I can't remember whether it was Jerome Buller or Skelton that had the ball at the end, but it was an inside line, handed it to him, and it's like either of them, Jai Gray, pretty much on the goal line. Like I think it's about 4 or 5 meters out. You're surely he runs over him here. Bang, hits him like. Does the old acceptance tackle where you but knew his role. Knew he had to put his body on the line, being an undersized individual, put his body on the line, stop him from going over. Because I reckon if they score there, that would bring it back. I think they would have been 2 behind if they had converted. I think they go on to win the game. So game-winning tackle, and another one that was absolutely outstanding was Jack White and in the centres. Like he was... I think he was hitting everything.
He's did he score in this? I can't remember if he scored or not. But he's having a hell of a season. But this is the thing. Because I said it last week
about the left and right.
About the left and right, because there's so much emphasis on their left hand side,
which
didn't
do apart from the didn't Latrell Mitchell score actually and Alex Johnson scored.
Yeah, so I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah,
I think David Fafita set up for Jai Gray's try as well because he ran through. But you've got to put so much respect to that left hand side as a defensive team. It almost creates space for the right hand side and lets the right hand side create be a little bit more creative, and that's what's happened with Campbell Graham has managed to flop over a couple of times as well this season, and Whiten's just having a solid start, and they're just doing what they need to do.
Whiten did score, so White and Gray, Mitchell, Johnson, not a bad quartet.
Tries coming from all over the place.
But a controversial bit in this match. Latrell Mitchell's tackle on Makasimi as he scored. Yeah.
So when you originally watch it and it's got it from the angle from like front on, you're like, it's a bit soft. But then when you see the angle from behind and you see Latrell Mitchell, like he's nowhere near punching the ball out.
I think it was a left hand arm carry as well, and he's going with his right arm to his right side of his face.
He's nowhere near the body. He's you couldn't argue with it.
Yeah.
Right? He's full on just punched him in the face, like or just hit him across the face. And you've got to say the commitment. Yeah, it's not a try until the ball's put down, but in that point of view and in that scenario, it was.
If he hits him a little bit harder or catches him in the wrong spot, he knocks him out. Probably drops the ball. Probably doesn't get the try. So I'd say it is worthy of a penalty try. 8-point try. First time I think I've seen an 8-point try.
Yeah,
we may have seen one actually.
I didn't think it was a rule. I didn't know what it was.
But I just find it interesting as well. They've got to make the conversion, so it could still only be. There's no advantage to it. And it was a decent kick that Dewey slotted over from the sideline as well. So fair play to him. And I think that was the shot when there was the Bulldogs fan in the background that lifted his top up and did a little belly dance to the fans. So. Interesting that one. But yeah, next opponent for the Tigers is the Warriors, who just tore apart the Knights, right? And this is exactly what a good team do against a team that is missing some of their best players. They just tear them apart, and Warriors have got the competition on notice. I think massively. A little bit at the moment.
Massively, and especially with their next game back at home, where they've just been incredible already. Look, like you say, they just knew what they needed to do. They stretched the Knights. To be fair, when Fletcher went over, I was like, okay, here we go. Maybe the Knights aren't that sort of beatable, but then the Warriors just went on an absolute hammering streak and just showed their class. They stayed calm throughout the game. didn't really do anything stupid, just knew what their game plan was to get over them, and they just managed to execute all throughout the 80 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, and fair play to Tanner Boyd. Like coming over, like didn't have the most successful careers, not like most people do at the Gold Coast Titans, but came over to the Warriors under a bit of pressure, like to perform, and he's been fantastic so far. And this week, hopefully, he's going to have partnered with
Luke
Metcalf in the halves. Like heard someone say that from last year's Warriors starting 13, they're losing 6 of their starting players, or they've currently don't have 6 of their starting players. So they could be a force to be reckoned with when they're all fit and later in the season when they need to be. But yeah, Warriors looking good at the moment. Then Eels Dragons. Was this Sunday? This was some Sunday footy. There was one incident that I'll talk about, and it's not going to cover too much about the game. One, I love Addo Fox's breakaway try, though. Addo Carr, the Fox, where he's running away. But a nasty little hip drop.
It was not nice.
Nah, and I think it's Hopgood. Hopgood's out for this season.
Yeah.
ACL. But funnily enough, I actually just went on NRL.com and Couchman's been handed a 4-game ban, which the thing that I was going to discuss in this, but that's been clarified, is that last year Toff Sipley got done, interestingly, against the Dragons as well, or against the Dragons. He broke Matt Fagai's leg. At the time, you didn't know it was broken, but it came out after the game that it was. And it was accidental. I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, didn't like Tavanga bump him or something?
Yeah, end up flipping.
And he fell on him. And he ended up getting a 4-game ban. So I was going to, like, there's calls out there that because he's ruined his season, that he should get an 8-game ban, or it was or flip of that. It was a pure accident. So therefore, should you punish him? Like, no one goes out to.
You still have control. You still have control of where you put your body and how you execute tackling. So not everything is an accident per se. So he still needs to be punished for it, just with the consistency of sort of last year. And I don't think a result of a tackle should always be the
injury
reflect.
Doesn't determine the sentence.
No, 100%. Like, granted, if it's a 10-meter sprint at someone's head with your shoulder, 100% you should be banned for life. But in these sort of instances, the injury shouldn't really reflect the punishment.
Yeah, so 4 games is fine.
Yeah,
I think for that one. Round 4 we play them in. Oh, so Couchman will be out, I think, for the Manly game. Interesting. So last game of the weekend was the Cowboys Titans.
Yeah.
Bit of pressure off of Todd Payton for now. I did think at a point the Titans were going to come back and get this one done.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
I think that the game against the Dolphins was a little bit of.
I get what you mean now, like blue smoke screen, really.
Smoke screen. Because you look at what both teams went on to then do. It's a bit frustrating in that sense. But it could well be Titans and Manly for the spoon, if I'm being perfectly honest.
It's a worry. Like, I had a thought as well. I'm thinking of driving up to the Seabus Super Stadium to watch Manly in July, because it might be a early spoon bowl contender. I think we play them as well at Four Pines Park. I've got the schedule on my fridge at home. When I went along to the fan day, there was a little handout you got. There was a schedule you can stick on your fridge. And every time I look at the fixtures, and I think Titans like round 20 odd, something like that at Four Pines Park. But yeah, we play them up at the Sea.
Round 12, we got them at home.
12. Yeah, ignore me about round 20 then.
Saturday 7:35 kickoff, and then Sunday the 19th of July.
Yeah,
Your birthday.
Birthday month. Start of July is my birthday.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was like.
2:00.
Might drive up there. So drive up there on the Friday and Saturday. Stop via like Tamworth or somewhere. Just some few little places on the way. Yeah, go out. Just explore a bit of the north coast of New South Wales. Then go and watch it. See if the Jimny can handle it. But yeah, pressure off Todd Payton for now. We'll see how they go this week. But let's get into the round 4 tips. And we're starting Thursday night. Four Pines Park.
You know what? I never bet against Manly, and I'm still not going to. I think there's going to be something about DCE coming back. There's going to be a lot of carnival around that. I think the boys are going to be hyped. I think under the lights, Thursday night, I think there's going to be a performance, and there's going to be some magic bestowed upon us, and Manly are going to come out winners.
Yeah, all right. And look, I do hope I have egg on my face with what I'm about to say. I think Jose Mourinho once come out and said he is the specialist in winning, right?
Yeah.
He said he's specialist in success, I think were his words.
Okay.
And then when he was talking about Arsenal, he said they were specialists in failure.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Seibold is a specialist in failure. He took the Broncos to their first wooden spoon ever.
Yeah.
He also is not looking good for Manly and the spoon. And like looking at this team sheet, and this is something that I reflected on earlier, and I heard someone mention about Tom Dearden, right? Mm-hmm. So Tom Dearden's career started at the Broncos. He only won 4 out of his first 34 games. His first season for the Broncos was when they won the spoon. Who was the coach? Seibold. So all this talk about Joey Walsh, like get him in the team, do this. I wonder if he's still somewhat scarred from having a significant impact on a talented players. Like people were saying he was the next big thing. He doesn't want to do the same to Joey Walsh because he might know that this season isn't going to be successful for Manly. So I don't know whether he's trying to shield him and protect him. But then on the flip side of that, you go, just give him a chance. Give the boy a chance.
You let the boy learn.
Just let the boy play. Let him learn. But for this game, I think we're going to get absolutely battered. I think it's going to be 40-odd 10, 40-odd 12. I'm not looking forward to it one bit.
Well, anyway, on to the Friday first game. We've got the Warriors at $1.22 against the West Tigers at $4.30 at the Go Media Stadium in Auckland. Wow, those odds are big. It's
because Jerome Luai is out. Tigers have got some good players. They have got some creativity, but without him, I don't think they're. It's a bold statement. I don't think they're anything without Jerome Luai, which is harsh, but he really does take them to another level or a level above what they were. Warriors are they're gonna win this, and they're gonna win this comfortably at home.
I'm gonna go Warriors as well in that.
And then what a Friday night game. We're at the Suncorp. We've got the $1.64 Brisbane Broncos against the $2.26 Redcliffe Dolphins.
I genuinely don't know.
Big man Payne House is out. Injured. Collarbone. Apparently.
Well, I'm going to go Dolphins.
Does it depend what the weather's doing in Brisbane? No, it doesn't. It doesn't depend what the weather's doing.
It's probably sunny.
I reckon the Broncos are going to have a bit of about them. I reckon they're going to bounce back, and off that win, they're going to be buoyant. I reckon Broncos cause somewhat an upset by beating my
at home
suspected top 4 Dolphins. So I'm going to go with the Broncos in this one.
Jeez. Which leads us nicely into Saturday for the 3 o'clock kickoff at the Accor Stadium. Jesus Christ, why? Surely this loses money.
Oh, randomly, talking about the Accor, I read earlier that South Sydney, the Rabbitohs, have been granted permission to play their games at the Allianz.
Oh.
Or they've got to split them between the Allianz and the Accor.
Surely it loses money.
Surely.
It must do. Like, unless the Bulldogs pack it out with 40
for the Knights, they're getting 10. I reckon between 15 and 20,000. If
loses money.
Saturday afternoon. Mind you, Saturday afternoon. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, we've got the $1.23 Bulldogs against the $4.20 Knights, and I think that reflects very much well how the outcome of the game is going to be.
Yeah, Bulldogs. This will be a good one to get the attack going. Like to see, because they haven't been free scoring. They haven't been high scoring.
They can't sleep on the Knights either.
You can't, but Bulldogs are winning this all day.
Yeah. Oh, no, 100% agree with that. But I just don't think they can go into it with that mentality of, let's try out our attacking lines. They need to just get the basics right first of all.
Yeah.
To then be able to build off. But yeah, I'm going to go the Bulldogs as well.
Just looking at all the fixtures this weekend, there are some serious mismatches. And I don't know whether this is a reflection, like we were talking about earlier, the 6-again rule of teams knowing how to operate it and then there being blowouts. But next game, we got the Combank. So is it a home game for the Panthers or is it a home game for the Eels? I'm not too sure. But it's the $1.20 Penrith Panthers against the $4.60 Parramatta Eels.
Panthers.
Yeah, we don't even... let's just move on. Panthers.
And then we're going up to the Queensland Country Bank Stadium for the 7:35 kickoff. We've got the Cowboys at $4.75 at home in Townsville against the $1.19 Melbourne Storm. I think that is the shortest odds of the weekend, and that's with the Panthers at $1.20 as well.
Mad. Storm. At least on Sunday, we've got like a fairly even game. We're down at the Geo in Canberra. Hopefully not raining. Hopefully they fix the sheds and the coach's box. The Canberra Raiders are $1.85 against the Cronulla Sharks at $2.
When I think of the Raiders, I see them like very similar to sort of the Dolphins in how they do have some weapons and have some speed. It's not at full strength of what it can be, but seeing that how they defensively performed against the Dogs and seeing how the Sharks perform against a team who can withstand pressure, and then how crumble with a little bit of speed. I'm gonna go with the Raiders on this one.
I'm gonna join you. I think the Raiders at home. I think they get this one done if it's dry, which I think this weekend is meant to be dry. But I reckon they win this one, Canberra Raiders.
And then we finish up at the Seabus Super Stadium with the closest odds of the weekend. We've got the Gold Coast Titans at $1.87 against the St George Illawarra Dragons at $1.97.
Do you know? I like watching footy. I enjoy watching footy. Like I watch mainly pretty much any game that's on TV. This one might be
a miss,
a bit of a struggle.
I don't know.
No,
Dragons have been scoring points.
They have, and I do like Gufferson. I do like Val Holmes.
I love Moneyman.
Yeah,
Tuapolotu. Ex-Manly.
Yeah. I am going to back the Titans in this one.
I'm going to go opposite.
Dragons.
I've seen more in the Dragons attacking wise.
Yeah, fair enough.
The last two games, they've been
there or thereabouts
all the way up to about 60, 70 minutes
and
then just folded. I don't see the Titans bringing the same effect as the Eels and then what the Storm did, so I'm going to go for the Dragons.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully we're going to be sitting here next week and we're going to be talking about how good man you were.
Yeah, 100%.
And we're going to be 2 more points. We're going to be on 4 points on the ladder and we're going to be loving life.
The comp.
Yeah, but if you agree with the fact that we're going to be sitting here with egg on our face, hit that subscribe button. Like the video as well. That helps out, get us to a new audience. But I think that's about it for this week.
Yep.
We've got a worrying Thursday night ahead of us. Let's just hope it ends successfully.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see, but we'll catch you in the next one.
Sayonara.